As we start to get older, our needs for a fifth wheel start to change, right? We go from wanting to sleep an entire family to being able to entertain. And that's exactly what the Cougar 320RDS does. Now, granted, yes, there is a trifold sleeper here, so if you really want guests to stay the night, you can. The main idea is that you get all this space to be able to sit back and relax. You have two slide outs here, which really open up this rear living space, and again, just make it like a perfect hangout. So you can see you have this giant L-shaped sofa, which is going to be kind of the heart of the RV. These two right here are going to be recliners, so you can kick your feet up, relax. These are going to be the prime seats. If it's just the two of you hanging out, snuggling, that's the spot to be. And as I mentioned, this right here does pull out into a bed if you want guests to stay the night. You also have cup holders in the armrests. Now, the idea is you're sitting right here in the theater seats is that you can look out the window and enjoy the views if you want, or there is a TV right here that is on a lift, and we can bring that up. That way you're able to watch TV. So again, it just kind of gives you like this big living room feel that I really enjoy. You have electrical outlets on both sides in case you need to plug anything in. As I mentioned, huge window there, storage across the top as well as down below. You have a little multimedia center here that is Bluetooth capable, a few different speaker zones there. And then you have the extra wide fireplace, a little under 5,000 BTU. That'll do a great job of just kind of helping to take the chill off in this space, and it looks really nice to boot. Then you come over to this side here, we get into the dinette. And again, things are a little unique because not only do you have two freestanding chairs, but you also have the bench seat. Now, this is removable. You can take this out. There is storage underneath as well, which is wonderful. And what you can actually do is this is what they call the flex dinette. So as it stands right now, you can fit 4 people, but what if it's just the 2 of you, right? And again, you just want to enjoy the views outside. But what you can do is actually pull this dinette out, and then it will allow us to flip it around like so. We can push it back in. Then you can take these 2 chairs. Again, we can move that bench out. You can put your 2 chairs here and be able to look out to the campsite, be able to enjoy the views, enjoy a meal. Again, just giving you a little more versatility and options. And as you can see, there are a ton of windows in this thing, which really let in entire natural light, make it very bright and open. You also see LED lighting up top. And while we're up here, you'll also notice the ceiling fan, which is great for moving some air. We have speakers up here, and we talked about those. And then in the back is going to be the Furion Chill Cube. That is an 18,000 BTU AC. That will be one of 2 that are in here, with prep for a third if you want to swap out the Max Air fan for a third AC. I really like the Max Air fan though. Honestly, you can open up some of these windows and be able to get that airflow through without having to run the air conditioners. Then we take a look at the kitchen, and things don't start to slack here either. Gorgeous, true solid surface countertops. You have the undermount stainless steel sink with the high-rise pull-out faucet. Plenty of cabinetry all down below. I really like the cabinets themselves. You know, they're very well done. You have nice pulls on there as well. Underneath, not only do you have sink top covers, but under the sink, you have enough space for a trash can. That's always going to be a big deal to me because especially when I have a nice RV like this, I don't want my trash can hanging out. I want it tucked away. You can see I have a 3-burner recessed cooktop with the oven here and extra storage space right down below. More storage up top, microwave, 16 cubic foot Furion fridge freezer combo. So we open that guy up, you can see there is plenty of cold storage in this one. And then over to this side here is going to be our pantry. As you saw, when we open that up, the light turns on. Going to be a motion sensor light, but great additional storage space there. And just in case that wasn't enough, you also get like this little hutch area right here with storage in top and bottom. Personally, I'm probably putting my coffee maker here because there's an outlet right there. But again, whatever you want to put there, you can. And you will see this little sticker kind of throughout on several different outlets where it says it's inverted. That means it is pre-wired. So if you do choose to get a larger solar flex on here, one of the options with that is you can get the inverter, and all of those that are pre-wired will then be inverted outlets, which is pretty great. Really makes it like a plug and play, makes it a whole heck of a lot easier. Taking a step up here, we get into our control panel. We have our main lights right here. We have some extra lights, all of our slides, as well as tank monitoring panel. And one of the big ones on here is tank heaters. That's right. You have tank heaters on this coach because it is meant to be able to camp in some cooler weather. Not only does it have the tank heaters, it has the insulation to do so, and that's a huge deal. Stepping into the bathroom, you'll see the nice big vanity. Even with the, it's a pressed countertop, even with the undermount stainless steel sink here, you still get some pretty good countertop space. And then over to the side is the electrical outlet, as well as the on-demand water heater. Uses a Girard on-demand water heater in this one, so you get essentially, instant hot water, and you can have it. It's almost limitless, which is great. Mirrored medicine cabinet there as well. Of course, storage down below. And when I step into the shower, it's 6 foot tall. I have more than enough room. Could probably be 6'3", still be able to stand in here. You have a seat right down below, the Oxygenix water head, which is going to be an upgraded shower head there. And then, of course, down over here is going to be the porcelain foot flush lever toilet with plenty of space all the way around it. You also see the heat ducts. They have very unique heat ducts on this one. I really do like them. It helps keep like some of the dirt and stuff out, as well as makes it a little more flush, not like stubbing your toe or anything on there. You can also see the towel bar back here, plus you have additional linen storage right over to the side. The other thing I really like is the door itself. The door that they have on here, rather than having like a swing door, is just a slider. So that way you don't have to play the game when you're coming up the stairs, right? Normally, you have to open a door and then kind of like step around or step down the steps to be able to go in. It's a huge pain. They completely went around that by having the slider door. Speaking of sliding, another thing that's cool is going to be the dresser here in the bedroom. And the reason I say that is because you have hidden storage tucked away right up top. I really like when manufacturers do that. Again, just utilizing space and giving me some storage for things, for some valuables that I just don't want out in the open or easily found. You'll also see that they have a spot to mount a TV here at the foot of the bed. And again, that outlet is going to be pre-wired for an inverter. Nice big window over here to let in some natural light. And next to that is going to be a wardrobe, but probably as you suspected, there is washer dryer prep in here. So if you want a washer and dryer, it is all set for it. If you don't, that's great. You just get a ton of extra storage. The rest of the wardrobe is going to be up top. And they do a few things in the wardrobe I really like. One, the hanging rod itself is lit. I think that is an awesome lighting solution for a closet. I wish I had that at home, to be honest. It's nice and bright. Makes a ton of sense. And then, again, you do have an inverted outlet in here. More importantly, though, is there is going to be a laundry basket. So you have a spot to put all those dirty clothes. It is a dedicated space. Huge fan of that. If we take a look at the bed, you'll see that that is in a slide out. You have windows on both sides that open. You also have shelves. Again, pre-wired inverted outlets on either side of those shelves. Even though you can't see them, they are back there. Plus an additional one right down here. Last thing I want to touch on before we head outside is we talked about the AC. Here will be the second AC. Again, that is ducted. And if you do want Wi-Fi on the road, this one is prepped for it, so you can have Wi-Fi at your leisure. All right, before we get into the outside, if you like everything that you saw and you're saying, Ian, where can I get one and how much is it? There will be a link you can click on in the description. As for the outside, there's definitely a lot to love about a Cougar, starting with the painted front cap here. And there's a couple things about this cap that make it unique. One of them is going to be the hitch vision, which you can see right here. So that way, as you're backing up, you're able to align the hitch a little bit better. And the other part of that is going to be the max turn technology, where this actually cuts back and allows for a tighter turn radius as you're backing into your campsite. You also see the Curt Helix pin box. This is a huge improvement over a standard pin box. It's going to use the spring coil here as well as the shock absorber to reduce the stress on your tow vehicle as well as on the fifth wheel, not just on the frame, but also it's going to help reduce a lot of the vibrations. So that way things aren't opening and slamming around as you're going down the road. When we open up this front compartment here, you'll notice right away that this is on struts, which I really like because far too often you have to pin it up here and it's a pain. So again, it's small things like that that are just really great. You will also see the spare tire that's in here. You get a full-size spare tire. We'll talk about these a little bit more when we go to the back, but these are 16-ply age-rated tires, which are awesome. Kind of over to the side, you will see the battery box here. You also see the distribution box. Tire link system will be there. Your RV solar is going to be up top, so you have your solar charge controller as well as the disconnect for the solar, so you can turn that off. Right here is going to be a little spot to tie up a doggo if you bring one with you. Then you can also see the auto level system, so you can level it out just touch of a button. Coming around to the side, you will have one of your 30-pound propane tanks. The other one, of course, will be on the other side. And if we look at our Storage here, you'll see again, magnetic catches in our garage. You have coating on the floor, so again, things aren't sliding around all over the place. You get this extra compartment right here that kind of drops down. You'll see that if you have any cords or anything that need to come out, you have a spot in which you can take those out. And again, some more inverted outlets here, pre-wired for the inverter. Also have a TV hookup. You have some USB ports, and you can control the awning from out here, which is pretty spectacular. So that way, if you're in a small, tight spot, you can extend that without having to worry of hitting a tree or anything else. Something else that I do want to talk about is going to be a little bit about construction. So behind this fiberglass, they're actually going to use a hypercore, which is going to be a composite material. So rather than use a Luan substrate, which is wood, the hypercore is going to be lighter weight. It's not going to off-gas, and it's not going to absorb moisture. So if you've ever seen some of the older laminated models where they have bubbles, that's called delamination. And with that hypercore, it's going to prevent that, so you're not going to have any of those issues. Taking a look up top is that power awning we talked about. You have an LED light strip up there, kind of up on the roof. It's a little bit tougher to see, but you can see your solar panel up there as well. So again, that will kind of help trickle charge that battery. The main entrance here is going to have the Lippert solid step. Now, you'll see aluminum treads on here. This first one is going to be a little bit bigger. So as you step out of the RV, you have a little bit bigger tread for your foot to land. And you will also see this safety rail they have. I really like this one over like your standard foldable one. The reason being is it gives you that control from the very first step. Rather than having to reach and grab, it's going to be right here, and you can use it the whole way in. I think that is definitely a big improvement. Outside speakers here as well, so if you're listening to some music outside, you can. And again, as we saw inside, because this one had the tank heaters on there and it's very well insulated with the climate guard protection, you can use this one in colder climates. Now, with that, again, if you're going to be in sub-zero temperatures, you always have to take extra precautions, because if you ever have running water, you're going to have some points that can freeze. So definitely make sure you do a lot of research if you're planning on doing some winter camping. Dropping right down underneath, you can see the Lippert road armor there, the suspension system. That's going to give you a few inches of travel. Again, that in conjunction with that pin box, this is going to be a great towing RV. We talked about the tires here. Again, those are H-rated 16 ply on the Rainier tires. And also you can see that you have the ABS on here. So that's one of the things that a lot of people, we take for granted on our tow vehicles, don't think about on towables. But yes, this does have anti-lock brakes, so that, as you're going down the road, if you have sudden emergencies, it will help keep that control. That is huge. Those are also self-adjusting brakes, which again, can be a pretty big deal. Making our way back a little bit further here, we talked about the auto level already, but I did want to talk about some of the stuff back here. One of them being the fact you have a receiver. So that can hold up to 300 pounds. So if you have a bike rack or something like that you want, you can slide it right in there. 50 amp detachable power cord will be back here, as will the ladder, so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof. It's always important to get up at least once or twice a year for inspection, and this allows you to do that nice and easily. And then, of course, top center is going to be backup camera prep. So if you want that backup camera, it's just a plug and play installation. And on the off-camp side, a few other things here we want to talk about. One of them, of course, you have your furnace exhaust. You also have the tankless water heater. As I mentioned, it's essentially going to be an on-demand water heater with near limitless hot water. And then we step up into the rest of our wet bay here. We can see the outside shower, everything we need for our water, from city fill to easy winterization and black tank flush here as well, which is fantastic. So you don't have to stick a hose down your toilet to wash it out. And again, because this one is prepped for colder climates, your valve bodies are going to be insulated here, which is huge. You can also have solar on the side. So if you have like a briefcase style solar from Zamp that you had on a previous RV, you can still plug that in here and use it, which is great. You also have the Key TV multi-source signal controller here, which is basically a really fancy system that makes it super, super simple. You plug cable in right here, and it goes to basically every spot it should inside. They helped reduce a lot of additional cable lines by switching to that Key TV system. And then right up here, a couple other things. We talked about the inverter prep, and that's where that inverter would go. Again, if you do choose to get that. Last but not least is the automatic leveling, so you can level it out at just touch of a button. If you ever wonder how this works, we do have a great video on the Camping World Tutorials channel. Feel free to check that out. Again, if you want to know how much this is and where to get it, you can click on the link in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.